Veterans Day. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Welcome to Great Day, Connecticut. I'm Kara Sundlin.
Scott Haney here. The few, the proud, the Marines. Happy birthday, 246 years strong. I just learned a little bit of history about the Marines. I was reading back. I didn't realize how far along. I mean, they've been around for such a long time. It's incredible.
Well, and a lot of people, I didn't realize that the day before Veterans Day is the day to honor Marines, and it's the birthday.
Which I'll probably never forget now that I know that, but I didn't know that either.
Right.
Yeah. So, God bless.
Started
Brad.
way back in 1775.
1775.
Leading up to the American Revolution.
This is really incredible, and they help out the Marine, always a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. So if you know a Marine, give them a hug.
They say thank them for their service.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Again, 1775, Kara. That's pretty remarkable, right? God bless.
Absolutely. And the discipline. That's what you think of with the Marines.
My God,
you think
the
of,
discipline.
you know, the loyalty and the discipline, qualities that we could all have.
It's unbelievable.
All right, so the sexiest man alive has been named by People magazine.
Thank you.
Maybe next year, Scott. It's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd.
Is he sexy?
You know, I think he is. I was looking at it, and he's not your typical, like...
He's not your typical heartthrob, right? But he's a good-looking man.
But he's from, you know, he stars right now in Ghostbusters Afterlife, which will hit theaters later this month. I can't wait to see that. Also, Ant-Man. But I think there's something, like, he definitely is a sexy guy. He just, like, seems more approachable, so maybe that's...
Charisma, approachability.
He says he's gonna really lean into this hard. Like, he's gonna love his title.
He's gonna love this title. So good for him. I think I don't really know Paul Rudd.
I mean, he's very handsome. It's just, you know, right, I know you usually think of more the pretty boys, but...
Jamie, our executive producer, just loves him. Look, there he is getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, he's a good-looking man.
He said, I have an awareness to know that when I got picked for this, people would say, what? But that probably is what makes him sexy.
And you know what, Kara? He's 52.
Yes.
Gives a little hope to,
yeah.
Well, not to me, but it gives a little hope to other people who are in their early 50s. There you go.
50 is the new 30.
Where's Brian Williams going?
We're not sure, but he is leaving NBC News and MSNBC at the end of the year. Of course, he's been there for a very, very long time. A source close to the deal says he passed on a contract offer. You might recall he, of course, was the main anchor for the evening news on NBC before he was demoted and criticized for exaggerating stories.
Yes. I have nothing else to say on this story.
So
I don't know.
He says he'll be somewhere.
He'll be somewhere. Good for him. All right, the Green Bay Packers have been fined $300,000 for failing to enforce the NFL's COVID-19 protocols, People magazine confirmed. And they're also getting fined for a Halloween party that a couple of their members attended that they weren't supposed to attend. So
also we talked about this, that Aaron Rodgers, who said, I'm immunized, and that was maybe not the most revealing thing to say. Everyone assumed he was vaccinated.
Right.
He's being fined $14,650 for these, for the violations, for any time he violated, whether he went to the party or he did whatever.
Right.
And along with Alan Lazard also are going to be, he's going to have that same fine. There's all these rules of the NFL that they're not even supposed to go to a party if they're not vaccinated.
Right.
And they were doing that. But it begs the question, like, how come the NFL didn't know all this time that he wasn't vaccinated?
Absolutely. Good point, Kara. And I just have to say that $14,000 is
it's not very much money for them.
It's a thimble. It's a needle in a haystack.
And even if he has to do it for a couple of violations.
Big, you know, he's like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, hit him where it hurts in the wallet, and that's just not enough.
Now, if you are Venmoing, which is now a verb, if you're using Venmo a lot.
Which you made me do.
Yes. Well, I came to Venmo because babysitters, you know, they go, do you have Venmo? And so now you're not home and you Venmo them, or...
I still write the paper checks.
So, don't get behind you at the supermarket.
No, I would never do that at a supermarket, I promise.
The people who get out their checks, excuse me.
Excuse me, with their
And then
cash.
they balance the checkbook after, like, let me do the math, and you're like...
And then they get their check cashing card out, and I'm like, what is this? Is this 1982? What is happening?
I remember that when your mom would say, can I make it for $40 more?
Exactly,
to get some cash? If you have your check cashing card and your ID, and they write the driver's license number. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So Venmo is how people are living a lot, right? And but the IRS is going to be looking more closely at the accounts, because I even had my plumber say, you can Venmo me. So a lot of people have been getting cash through Venmo. If you're getting it that way, be prepared. Venmo is now allowing the Internal Revenue Service some access. So they're going to be looking, just like any other banking thing, that you have to pay your taxes if it's business money.
All right, so if you're giving the money, you don't have to worry. But if you're getting the money.
But let's say your plumber, this happened to me, said, pay me on Venmo, and you do that, the plumber then is supposed to report that as business income.
Got it. So it's one way. Okay. So
but if you're still just splitting a pizza, or if you and I the other day when I needed to give you some money for a gift we were going to buy together, that is not, we don't need to worry about that.
Okay. And it
among
says,
friends and family, it's okay.
If they total more than $600 a year, so if you fall below the threshold of $600, you don't have to report it.
But, you know, a lot of places now are...
$600 is a drop in the bucket, right? For over a year?
If businesses are actually accepting Venmo, they're probably going to make more than that, right?
That's incredible. All right, the next time you order a slice of pizza, imagine...
I have to see this to understand it. It's a skateboard that's made out of pizza. It's like you take the pizza, and they do stuff to it, and they turn it into a skateboard. Oh, they caramelized it, and they shellacked it, and they put resin on it, and then they put wheels on it, and before you know it... Wait, it looks very thin at the end there. You're on a cheese highway. It's going to break. Look at this thing. It's incredible. Now, does it come in varieties? Like, because I would just want plain cheese or a margarita as opposed to a pepperoni. You know, some guy decided to to do this. How much is he getting? $800 a skateboard? $800 a piece, and it takes 3 weeks to make one. It should be $800 a slice. Oh, wait, I see now. It's clear at the end. That's what it is. I thought it was, oh, yeah. Look at this. It's like a cross between a wider board and a penny board. It's completely ridiculous. And somebody is the invention of mankind. Well, the kid who created it says it's a piece of art. Now, I will tell you a story. I came to Connecticut in 1998. I came to Connecticut to do the weekend mornings, and I forgot my suit. So I had to rush to a 24-hour Kmart to get a white shirt, a belt, and a tie, because I had pants on that were okay. But if it weren't for Kmart, I think I would have been in a lot of trouble because they were the only ones open the 24 hours back in the day. Oh, to go get something. And now they're going out of Kara. They're closing. Only six remaining locations in the continental U.S. by the end of the year. This is terrible. Yeah, Kmart is actually owned by Sears, and that purchased the chain out of bankruptcy in 2005. So there were, at one point, 2,100. Everyone knew where a Kmart was. Everybody knew where a Kmart was. But now, I mean, you went to Kmart because it was cheap and it was easy to get things, but now people are doing that online. Forgive me, was Kmart the blue light special? Yes. Was that the blue light special? Okay, Kmart. Only 6 locations left in the United States. I'm hoping one of them is in Connecticut. I think there was one in Manchester. That's the one I went to. Well, and then you've got the online stuff, and then you have Walmart, and you have Target. So yeah, you know, it's a sign of the times. None will be in Connecticut. You will not be able to go. Martha Stewart, Kmart helped launch Martha Stewart. Absolutely. I remember reading a story when we interviewed her too. She said she went in there and said you need to have her sheets. She wanted them to be light, and they said no. Cheap sheets need to be dark because our clients want them to be dark so they don't show the dirt. And she's like, I don't believe that. I think that people want nice light sheets just like nice hotels. Hysterical. And they listened to Martha Stewart, and her line was born. There's Jamie, our producer, saying that there's one in Bridgehampton, New York, which is Long Island. That's Long Island, yeah. Yeah, so it's the Hamptons. I don't know why there would be a Kmart in the Hamptons, but... One in the city, 2 in the Bronx. There you go. It's going to be like a fun thing to go to, like take your kids to the nostalgia. It's like nostalgia. Let's go to Kmart. You know what? It's interesting here, Kara says they've struggled to find the workers needed to keep the doors open. Yeah, that's a problem that every business is feeling. Isn't that incredible? That's incredible. You know, you don't have the workers. You can't even keep your business running. AMC Theaters plans to make it easier to recreate the movie theater experience at home. The company says it's going to sell its own popcorn in supermarkets and in malls. Does it come popped, or does you get it in a package? It says that people are going to buy the freshly popped AMC popcorn at mall kiosks. Well, so I guess it's already, but it won't be warm. I think the whole point is that it's warm. Oh, I think it will be warm. I think the kiosks are going to have a little popcorn machine. But then by the time you get home, it won't be warm. No, you eat it while you're walking through the mall. I'm sure they'll love that. But it's supposed to be. It's also going to sell packaged and microwavable versions. Right. But could you imagine the trail of popcorn through the mall? The mess that's going to be through the mall. But like when you're coming home to stream something on TV, on Netflix or whatever, you want the popcorn to be warm. Yeah, I guess. Can you throw it in a microwave? Like already popped popcorn? I think you'll just buy the microwave version, maybe. You just buy the microwave version. Well, they're going to sell that too, so there you have it.
All right.
So we've been talking a lot about tiny homes.
Tiny homes.
Yeah, and that's when you build something so tiny, it's just what you need.
Well, we talked about this one earlier in the month. It sold.
Yeah, so it's a 251 square foot home built in 1971 in suburban Boston. It went viral when it went on the market because they wanted $449,000 for it, which we were talking about this. In the rest of the world, you would think that sounds very expensive, but that's not expensive for Boston.
Not expensive for Boston. Now, the owner plans to rent it out, so if you feel like you've missed out on your opportunity to stay in the tiny home.
It's a perfect Airbnb. That makes so much sense.
But I love it. The buyer wanted $449,000, but he only got $315,000 because the city came in and assessed the property for significantly less. But $315,000, Kara, for a 200.
Look how cute it is.
What is it? How many? 251 square feet. It is cute.
I mean,
what do you need? Well, I need a little bit more.
That's like what? Like 10 by 25 feet? It's about the size of our kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. The whole house.
Right.
The whole house. I don't know. I don't know how you.
Do you want to know
how you live like that?
You want to know how the celebrities are living?
How are they living?
You can watch People the Show right here on Channel 3.
I think Jeremy has a preview. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Tonight on People, I speak with a 14-year-old star of Clifford the Big Red Dog, Darby Camp, about the challenges of filming with an imaginary star. Okay, tell me about being on set. I know, as filmmaking evolves, like we've all heard stories of people acting a lot, you don't see anything other than like a tennis ball on top of a pole. But now I think you had a puppet, right?
Yes, there was an actual 10-foot puppet controlled by 2 puppeteers, and they were so incredibly talented that it felt like there was a real dog, like during the scene. But a lot of the time it was just his head, or just his tail, or just his ear even, just for those like close-up shots. And it was an experience. It was fun though. You
filmed this movie like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. You've grown up a lot since then, right?
I have.
Like when you watch back, was it like, wow, that's when I was a little kid? Did it feel that way at all?
Yeah, basically I'm like, well, that's me. Like I remember that, but it also doesn't feel like me.
Darby also talks to doing all the red carpets for this movie and working with Reese Witherspoon in Big Little Lies. Tonight on People.
Big dog. That's a big dog she was having a conversation
I really want to see that movie.
All right, let's go. All right, the holiday